Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is the Appalachian Alliance.
Welcome, everybody.
Thank you for joining us once again. I am Tom Reiser, and my co-host with me most of the time, Mitchell Church.
When life's not hectic,
Right,
Thanks for having me on again, Tom.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, you know, you're the main. You're the main man. Yeah. You know what I mean? I try to get you on here as often as possible, but you know, kids and life and all of that garbage. I understand.
Yeah.
And you know, when I have the gear, right, it's easy for me to just get her done sometimes.
Yeah.
But I digress. It is Survivor 48, episode 11, and it's called Coconut Etiquette.
Yeah.
And it's very important in Survivor to have coconut etiquette. Right?
Yes, but, and we'll get to it.
Right.
I think the reason why it's called coconut etiquette, I think the person who is messing with the coconuts is doing mind games, the master mind games.
It's possible.
So, let's jump in.
Right.
We
crank my headphones down just a touch.
Down.
All right, there we go.
And so
sorry about that.
To recap, Star is voted off.
Star is gone.
She had some magic hope that something was going to happen.
Her enemies plotted.
Yeah,
and
her enemies are winning. Yeah. So, but we love you, Star. We love you. Great energy on the show.
Absolutely.
We get back and somebody pulls Mary aside and wants to talk to Mary.
Yeah.
And Mary's
every time I get close to somebody, they get voted out. That's what Mary says. So
she's the Black Widow, man.
Yeah,
you know, she's the new Jerry.
Yeah, you're standing next to Mary. Yeah, you're the next to go.
Done. But somebody wants to talk to Mary, and Mary immediately is on the game. She has an idea.
Yeah,
and she goes to Camilla first.
Camilla, right.
And she pitches this idea of, hey, let's use me to get Joe or somebody out.
Right.
You know, which
she's
is smart.
Pitching Joe.
Yeah,
and that's
throwing Joe's name.
That is the smart thing to do.
Exactly.
At this point,
yeah.
I think I love Joe, but if I am not Joe in this game, I'm coming after Joe at this point.
I love Joe, but I wouldn't vote for him. Because there's no strategy.
You know, it's true.
You outwit, you outplay, and you outlast. Mary even says it's not about outloyal.
Right.
You know,
yeah, exactly.
She makes that comment. So Mary is trying to scoop up Camilla and Kyle and Mitch just to play the game, and let's make a move. And Shaheen as well.
Shaheen, yeah.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And I said in caps, it's about time.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's about time.
Yeah,
this had to happen. Should have happened 2 episodes ago.
4.
I think these folks are super close. You can tell that these guys have grown close, and even the ones that are on the outs are close. Yeah, right. And I think that is a factor here.
Yeah, and Kyle says multiple times this is a season about emotional connections. Yeah, and Kyle's smack dab in the middle. Right. But I think Kyle's getting, you know, he was thinking this episode, like, who am I going to go with?
Right.
Am I going to go with Joe, who I've shared stuff I've never shared with anybody else, or Camilla, who's my secret number 1?
Right.
You know, and
he's going to have to pick.
He's going to have to, quick, too.
So the morning of day 20, Joe immediately starts chatting up Kyle, making sure that we're good,
Final
which
4.
is what you do. And he said there's no scenario where we don't get to Final 4.
Yep.
And right now, as it seems,
he's right.
It's entirely accurate.
Yeah.
And Mary is pitching Kyle hard.
Yep.
And she's like,
or no, Joe. She's pitching Joe.
She's pitching Kyle to get Joe out.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, she is, yes.
She's like, use me. This is the last chance.
Yeah, this is your last chance for the numbers.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And, you know, Kyle's doing the whole, like, what should I do? Life's so hard, you know. And Kyle, I love you, buddy, but come on, man. Like, it's a game. I understand, like, one day out there is a year. I get it. I understand that part of the game, but it's a game.
You have to remind yourself that it's a game.
Why are you there?
And there's $1 million on the line.
Yes.
And bragging rights.
Yes.
And
possible coming back. too.
Right.
And
and you can forever say, I won Survivor 48.
Yes. No one can take that from you.
Nobody can ever take that from you. And that's an exclusive club. There's only 47 of them.
Yep.
Out of over 350.
Not 47 because we've had dual winners.
Well, I guess.
So 45. Tony's won twice. Sanders won twice.
Right. Yeah, you're right. So
that number's smaller.
It's true. Yeah. Only 45. Mm-hmm. Only 45 people have won Survivor.
Yes.
In 20 years.
Yep.
So
Mary's working and Camilla's on board.
Oh yeah.
And I don't.
Why not? She should be.
I can't remember Mitch's reaction, but Mitch seemed like he was kind of on board, but not really. Yeah. Mitch is just hoping for a miracle that somehow Joe's going to get voted out without actually doing any work.
Right.
Yeah.
And so Mary is she's taking it out on the coconut because she's feeling hopeless.
Which is a great counseling strategy.
Exactly. She knew how to do it. And she was talking to that coconut too.
Yeah.
She knew the technique. Right, she knows the work.
She reminds me of a grandmother in an abusive relationship, like kneading dough. Like, I just swear, he's putting his hands on
them biscuits. She's
making
the biscuits and
taking out her frustration on the dough.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what she was doing.
Yeah.
And then this is why it's called coconut etiquette, because Eva, who's ate at every freaking award,
she's probably gained weight.
Yeah, gets mad.
Yeah,
because the one who hasn't eaten, is chopping up a coconut.
Yeah.
And Eva's like, well, that's our last coconut. Right. You're on an island. Go find something. Go fish.
Well, they say out there that whenever you're out there, any kind of food that is communal at the camp, you have to have a democratic vote as to when you are going to consume any sort of drink or
I remember
food.
Who was the grave digger?
The grave digger.
The big black guy, muscular.
James.
Yeah. There's banana etiquette on his season.
Right.
You can't go eat the small banana,
Yeah.
And James, big old guy, he wants to eat. Now, is Mary a big old guy? No, but Mary's pissed because she's on the bottom.
Right.
She's pissed because she hadn't got to eat. And Tom, if you're starving, you're not thinking clearly 24/7.
No, you're really not.
You're
really not.
And Mary's just trying to get out some frustration.
Yeah.
Which I would too. Hey.
And she feels like it's hopeless, so she doesn't care whether she pisses anybody off or not.
Yeah. And Camilla's one like, girl, you just blew your game up by one coconut. You know, like it's coconut etiquette. That's Camilla brought that up.
She doesn't know proper coconut etiquette, which is Camilla fantastic with the one-liners.
Yeah, we love you, Camilla.
Yeah, fantastic. So now, Kyle, after the break, Kyle and Camilla are catching up. He kind of apologizes to her for being kind of wishy-washy.
Yeah.
Kyle also says that Camilla's a breath of fresh air because she is his real number one. Mm-hmm. But, Kyle is real emotional about voting these people out.
Yeah, specifically Joe.
Joe.
I don't think Kyle cares about Eva or Shaheen as much as he cares about Joe.
Right.
Because him and Joe have had some deep conversations.
Right.
And that's to Joe's credit. Joe's just playing the game.
Yeah. Well, and to Joe's credit, I think that's who Joe is.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Joe's that good guy.
He's
like, hey, man, what's going on?
And he'll just talk to you and chop it up and try to relate. And I think Kyle and Joe are similar types of humans.
I agree.
And I don't think Kyle anticipated connecting with Joe in that way.
Yeah, I think that was kind of a blind side on Kyle's spot to be like this connected to Joe, but while he's working with Camilla. Because Kyle talks about only Joe and Camilla. He doesn't mention any other names that he's close with.
Right.
So we get to a boat shows up.
Yeah, and
Eva.
Shaheen, let's not gloss over this point.
Okay.
Evidently, Kyle has never snorkeled before.
Yeah.
And he went out and got a fish.
He did. I seen him catch fish.
So good for him.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of Kyle.
Yeah. And Mitch enjoyed that experience too. He talked about it.
It's day 20.
Yeah, I'd be doing that day one.
It's day
or whenever I get my fishing
20.
rod. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember when they got the fishing gear.
I don't either.
It must have been a long time ago.
Yeah, it must have been.
Must have been episode 2 or 3 or 4.
And see, Tom, that's the thing. This new era, they don't care.
Yeah.
They just go out there to starve.
Yeah,
and
they starve.
Yeah, not me.
Not
me.
These country boys
not me.
I'd have been in there day one.
Yeah.
And you don't have to fight the current, right?
Yeah.
Like you get out there and float around a little bit and see what you can see, right?
Well,
and,
there's one season where they tried to catch a goat to kill it and eat it. You remember that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'd snatch that goat and barbecue him in a second.
Yeah. Talking about an animal we could fight.
Oh, yeah. I think I could take a goat.
Yeah, with a machete, yes.
Yeah, with a machete, probably.
Or a stick, yes.
Now, would I come out of it unscathed? Probably not.
No, my luck, I get horned in the stomach or something, you know. But
you're gonna get injured.
And that's what made old Survivor great. You remember when Michael killed the boar?
Yeah,
that was a winning move, and then he got burned. But he killed that boar, and everybody's like, man, he just provided us with like 20 days of food or something, you know. But so Mitch, Shaheen, and Kyle, they go fishing, and they talk about how it was a great experience, and Shaheen is saying, I wish I could have talked to myself,
right?
Because this game is nothing how you imagine you'd play it.
Yeah.
And I always thought Shaheen would be the kind of a backstabbing kind of like, let's strategize and make moves.
Right.
He's been laying low a little bit. But I think he's getting ready to come out.
I think Shaheen, just like he slow played that last vote, not Star, but what was the one before that? David,
yes.
He said he had been planting seeds for days to get David out.
Yeah.
And I think that's the kind of player Shaheen is.
Yeah.
And
more of a manipulator, like, let's just drop this name and see where it goes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think he is a sleeper for a winner now.
Yeah.
Because he is tough. He's
see, where Kyle's in the middle, Shaheen's in the perfect spot.
Yeah, he's very level-headed. He doesn't react emotionally, and
he's funny as hell.
And he's a good guy. And we get a nice little musical moment with him. That, and he like started singing a song in the hammock. I can't remember exactly what it was, but. Anyway, I digress.
So a boat shows up.
Right.
And
one thing I wanted to bring up before we moved on about the animals. Have you noticed that there is a 100 people against a gorilla thing happening?
Yeah.
You know that was because Joe said he could fight a gorilla.
Yes.
So
and now it's
Survivor and people don't realize that it's because of Survivor that
this
you
is
have
going on.
this.
Yes. Because there's all kinds of simulations of I've seen 1,000 gorillas versus 100,000 men, and this is all because Joe said he could take a old silverback
from the zoo. He said, right. All right. So Shaheen, there's a boat.
Yeah, and Eva just like jumps out of the hammock, as she says. The hammock. Yeah. I was sleeping in the hammock.
Bless her heart.
Yeah. My wife asked, is she British? I'm like, no, she's deprived.
She's from Minnesota or something.
She's not eat. Or, well, she's eat a little bit, but...
she's been eating.
Yeah.
So, Mary definitely wants to go.
And shout out to Mary for saying, hey, I'll do it.
I'll go right now. And then everybody wants to go. So, they pick rocks.
Yep.
And what happens?
Eva gets it.
Oh, my God.
Yep. And she goes... There's a stack-up challenge. This challenge, I love this challenge because it reminds me of the old school stacking of the tiles, all the way up to the designated height.
Yeah, and then it has a new level where you have to spin it with your foot.
Which reminds me of when they have to build the blocks with their feet and then put the flag in. It's like they kind of combine those two old school challenges. Yeah. So I love that challenge.
I thought it was great.
Great.
Eva plays it perfect, I believe.
Yep. She gets to level 4.
Had she lost her vote, right? And this was my prediction. Before the challenge started, I said, Eva loses her vote, Joe goes home.
I thought so. I said the same thing.
This is what's going to happen.
This is what's going to cause Joe to go home.
Yeah, she is going to lose her vote, and then she's going to blame herself forever because Joe got voted out.
Yeah.
But, of course, she pulls out the hyper-focus.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now, folks that are unfamiliar with the autism spectrum and the ADHD spectrum, there is a thing called hyperfocus.
That's where you can shut everything off and you're just in the zone.
Yep.
And I have a little bit of that. You do too.
I got it for real.
Like, especially like me, it's me with recording.
Right.
Recording music. You have to be in that zone.
Right.
And Eva's in it.
Yep.
The deal is you have to get to level 4. You have to stack 4 levels, and then you get your vote back. Then you could keep going for another 2 levels, I believe it was, and then you get a knowledge is power advantage.
Right. Or it's like 2 and then 4 or something like that. It's one of those.
And Eva clearly says, well, I'm the only one here that has anything, so I don't need the knowledge is power. Who am I going to play it on, me?
Well, she went on to stack a couple of them, and then she was like, I'm going to screw this up.
Yeah.
Which was the call.
Yes.
That was the call, because that was the difference maker in this episode for sure.
Had that been anyone else, they'd have went for it.
Oh, absolutely, because nobody else has any power.
Exactly. They know what Eva has. Well, they know Eva has an idol.
Right.
They don't know about Eva's
Not everybody. Not everybody. Some of them know it. Mm-hmm. Now, I think that power without or
safety
without power, that expired this time.
Really? Okay, I did not know that.
I do believe. Now,
Eva comes back to the beach.
The idol will expire next time.
Yeah, Eva even comes back to the beach, and she's honest with everybody.
Yeah.
Joe mentions this. Joe says she's honest with everybody.
Yeah.
Why would she lie?
Right.
Why would she go with the safety, or with the knowledge is power? Because she has the idol. Everybody knows she has the idol because she tells everybody.
Yeah.
And so we get to the challenge.
Yep.
Love the new immunity challenge, by the way.
Yeah.
The wheelbarrow.
The wheelbarrow. That was new.
Yeah.
And
I'd never seen that.
Well,
is that new?
They had a variation of this where they had to do a wheelbarrow and balance something, but nothing on a balance beam.
Yeah.
Or over those kind of little humps, which was the hard part.
Yeah, poor Mary, man.
Mary came out ahead.
Yeah, she came out swinging.
And had to go back. And the 2 base balance, that's the tricky part.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so Shaheen's at the puzzle first. Mitch is up next.
Yep.
Joe on the puzzle third. I said, Camilla's on the puzzle. Watch out.
Yep.
I said, immediately I thought Camilla's going to kill this.
Well, and then Joe finished the puzzle first, but he got it wrong.
Right, which is hilarious. Well, he tried one thing, and he's been getting roasted online. Okay,
what was it?
Got fun betrayal.
Got fun betrayal.
And betrayal is spelled Betrayale.
Yeah.
Betrayal. Yeah. So he's got fun betrayal. That never in the world
Jeff's
would that have been
just trying to keep a straight face.
He's
like,
just no, Joe, that's not it.
Right.
Eva actually tries to help Kyle, and is like, it has to be right on both sides.
Yeah.
Because he gets it, but it's not right. Camilla drops a block as soon as Joe is one piece away.
Yeah.
This was a to-the-wire challenge.
Nail biter, yeah.
It's one of the best challenges this season.
And then we think Joe's going to win.
And then Joe, his eye is flipped.
Yep.
It wasn't black. It was white on one side, and they have to match.
Yep.
And Camilla wins.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Tears of joy.
And I said, Joe may be thinking about that flipped eye forever.
Yep.
It didn't work out like that, but spoiler alert. Now, Camilla says something right here. My parents said it would be useless to go on Survivor
because I get voted off
I would never
first.
win immunity.
Oh, okay. I thought she said I'd get voted off first.
I think she said I would never win immunity. And Jeff says, well, who's right now?
Yeah.
And fantastic.
Yeah.
Mary's in tears. Didn't get picked for reward over Eva.
Yeah, Camilla, what were you thinking, buddy? I mean, I know there's strategy involved there, but my God.
Eva.
I
think maybe that was the... If I had to pick one thing that kind of went wrong with this counterinsurgency here, that might have been that.
Yeah. I would have scooped up everybody on the bottom and said, look, we got to do this.
Yeah. You pick up as many people from the bottom. Yeah. You bring them and feed them.
It would have been me. It would have been Camille. It should have been Camille. It should have been Camilla, Mary, Shaheen, or Kyle.
Right.
and Mitch.
But you pick Kyle. That might have been an indicator, right?
Yeah.
But she says Camilla took Eva to keep her close. Now, Eva was super comfortable.
Oh, she's pigging out.
And did not think at all that they were talking about Joe.
No.
Right?
No.
So had they actually went through and voted Joe out, it would have worked.
Yeah.
Because nobody played an idol.
No.
Nobody played any power.
Well, and Eva even says, my idol's getting ready to die, and, I'll play it for me and Joe because we're a team.
Right.
And that pisses me off. When did we accept this team crap in Survivor?
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. I understand.
They're letting this duo run the game.
I mean,
this is Survivor 01.
I mean, Boston,
you see a duo, you break them.
Yes, Boston Rob started this duo thing with Amber.
Right.
Yeah. And now it's just like, oh, well, okay. Yeah. And I've seen some comments online, oh, they're just doing this because she's on the spectrum, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the case.
I don't think it is either.
I don't think that's the case.
I think, anyway. So Kyle finally tells Camilla that he's a lawyer. And,
that was random. I guess that's him trying to be truthful to her, and
why people think that lawyers are the best thing since sliced bread on Survivor, I don't understand.
Well, that's our, come on, man, we're Appalachian. We don't trust executives. We don't trust suits.
Right.
Lawyers wear suits, baby.
Yeah, if you're a lawyer, I might not trust a thing you say.
Yeah, you're going to hell.
Yeah. So maybe maybe you're right for keeping it a secret from me.
Well, and two, you got to keep it a secret because most lawyers are associated with money. If I find out you're a lawyer, I'm like, well, you don't need this $1 million.
Yeah, your earning potential is a lot higher than mine, for sure.
So that's why he's probably scared of telling everybody he's a lawyer because, oh, he's a rich lawyer. He don't, because immediately that's where my brain goes.
Right.
I've never met a broke lawyer. Have you?
Right.
No. So why do they need $1 million?
Not real broke.
Yeah, exactly.
There's not some out there who are struggling, but nobody that.
But they're not getting food stamps and worried about paying their bills.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
They're just pissed they're not living in a 3-story mansion rather than a 2-story. You know?
Yeah.
So
well, if you're a bad lawyer, I guess you can struggle a little bit, but
public defender.
Yeah. God bless y'all.
Yeah.
So Mary straight tells Joe, I'm writing your name down, Joe.
Perfect. Stirring the pot.
Right.
Mary is the master manipulator. She got Say convinced that day she laid on the beach. And then Joe just freaks out.
Right.
And Shaheen's like, bro, I had to go through this twice.
Yeah.
Like, what are you freaking out?
Yeah,
welcome to the game.
Yeah.
So,
but the thing is, that may have been wrong in that situation with that person. Mm-hmm. Because if she had just kept her mouth shut, right?
Yep.
Maybe Joe doesn't go and talk to some other people.
Yeah.
Maybe he lays back and he's comfortable, and then that opens the door.
Well,
right?
When she tells
because
Joe
there had to have been some conversations that we were not seeing.
Yeah, exactly.
We were not shown.
Exactly.
So, and because the way the vote went,
it was all Mary and Joe.
It was all Mary and Joe, and Well,
when Mary says that, Joe's like, "Should we split the vote?" Joe gets paranoid,
right?
You know, and I'm like, "Honey, if they split the vote, they got a chance.
Yeah, you're gone.
They got a chance to get Joe out.
Yeah.
If Joe and him splitting the vote,
right? Now what Mary should have done is acted cool.
Yeah, like she did with Say. Yeah,
and then been like, maybe I got an idol.
I'm not going home.
Maybe I got an idol. Yeah. Maybe I got something in my back pocket.
I'd have just said, I'm not going home.
Yeah, I'm not going home. I'm not worried.
Yeah.
And then just walked away.
Yeah.
Right? And so then you get a split vote and possibly a tie or something like that.
Well, if the vote would have split, it would have been 2-2. That's 4.
Yeah.
And then 2 could have voted for Joe. That's 6. So then somebody would have flipped. Mitch would have definitely flipped and said, let's get Joe out. Joe would have went home if they would have split the vote.
Yes.
And they did not.
And they didn't.
So
I'm saying
I think that was Joe's saving grace, is that they did not split the vote.
Right. So now let's go to tribal council, because we as the audience think it's possible Joe's going home.
Yes. Well, that's what the producers have led us to believe,
and so and it kind of got a weird vibe here where Jeff's talking about everybody at home, and I'm like, is this the finale or what is going on? It was kind of strange. I don't know.
But I loved hearing everybody's story.
Sure.
And we haven't heard that yet.
Yeah,
I think that's why Jeff kind of pulled it out of him a bit.
Yeah.
You know,
and maybe to kind of stir the pot.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Because Jeff's probably, who knows, Jeff might not like seeing this 4 strong. You know, that's old school.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, right. And I've seen that online. Like, folks are like, you know, you keep yelling for old school Survivor. Dude, you're watching it.
Yeah, really. And you are.
In a way.
You are. But we get some really good confessions and life stories from Camilla and Shaheen and Mary and Kyle and Joe and, you know, but the vote goes.
And
Mary.
Shaheen just walks up and puts his vote in and goes, "Ooh, waka, she waka."
Yeah. But
when he goes, I'm gonna cry because he's right
the comedic relief.
Right now,
sure.
he's the most entertaining Survivor for sure.
Yeah.
And his social media is fantastic. Go follow Shaheen. It's top notch.
Great stuff.
And so
even did a video on how to say his name. I hope we're saying it right, buddy.
Right. I think so.
But the votes go. So, 1 vote Joe.
No, nothing played. No idol for Joe. Mary, Joe, Mary. David shakes his head. Yep. I feel you.
David even stands up for Mary.
He's out.
Which was badass.
And David stands up.
Yeah.
And it was kind of awkward.
Yeah.
But I get it. I think he's trying to,
But that's David's showing Mary, I can't talk to you.
Right.
So I will stand for you.
Right.
And say this is bullshit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like, because Mary was his, number 1.
Yeah.
And, and I think David's pissed because the alliance he formed of the good guys turned on him and
his number 2.
And his number 2.
Yeah.
But I've never seen a jury member stand for a player.
No, that's
before,
that's the first time. That's the first time.
So that was very. I looked up to David for that. He got a check mark in my book because I would probably do the same thing or do something, showing that she's a great player.
Right, and you just screwed up.
Yep.
And I said, sad. That was their chance.
Yep, they're gone.
That was your chance right there.
But in the clip, let's get to that.
Let's go to the promo.
Yeah.
So Kyle says to Joe, "Don't freak out," but Shaheen's flipped.
I think he's lying. I think him and Camilla.
He absolutely is lying.
Him and Camilla.
Because Kyle says to Camilla,
stirring that pot.
We're playing this game hard. And Shaheen says to Joe, "You're acting like I took a dump in your pancakes."
Yeah.
He was like, "What's your problem? You're acting like I
shit in your pancakes."
Yes, exactly. And so that's going to be entertaining at least.
And then it shows Camilla in the background just like...
enjoying every minute of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think I hope that Camilla and Kyle have finally decided, let's stir the pot let's get these people out.
Right.
Because they could still use Mitch.
Right.
Who else is left?
So
that's
Kyle,
it. It's
Kyle and Camilla have to set up a situation where the blood is not on Kyle's hands.
Yep. And Camilla's done the dirty work before. She's even said, my hands will get dirty.
Yeah.
And that resume's going to be better. Because if Camilla and Kyle both go to the end, Camilla can say, actually, I did that. Actually, I did that.
Right.
Yeah, that was your idea, but I did it. Yeah.
Yes.
So, Kyle knows that.
Yeah,
he knows that.
Yeah.
And Camilla's saying one of us has to be in the final 3.
Yeah, and he might turn on her.
Yep.
It's possible.
If Kyle and or Camilla get to the end, I think they have a good chance of winning.
Oh, for sure.
But if it's Joe, Eva, and Shaheen, the jury's going to hate them.
Yeah, most of them. And they'll vote for Shaheen.
Yeah, they will. Because Shaheen, he appears to have the best comedic and personality. Yeah.
But there may be a thing where they are all mystified by Joe. Evidently they are.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but I don't they're going to ask questions.
It's true.
How did you outwit? How did you outplay? He outplayed by winning hidden, individual immunity.
Yeah, right.
How did you outwit?
Right.
You just got an alliance together. That's it.
He
know what I mean?
Strong-armed it.
As Mary says, it's not out loyal.
Right.
I love that quote from Mary because it's not.
Yeah.
Like, let's go, son.
Right.
All
right. Anything else, Mr. Church?
I'm hoping that this next episode will give us some better entertainment, and let's see the 4 start to crumble. Let's see a crack in the 4. I think that's what we're beginning to see next episode is that the 4 are going to go to 3 real quick.
Right. And with this setting Shaheen up, that might happen.
They might
happen. They're stirring the pot.
Yep.
We'll see how it goes. Well, I think the holler has spoken, y'all.
God bless you, baby. We love you.
See y'all.
See ya.